All right, first and foremost, want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's all praises to the Most High God, the name of His only begotten Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. I want to make a video on it being biblical prophecy of the Israelites waking up in the last days. All right, because you got these Christian apologists that try to overthrow it. Right, you got various people that speak down on what's going on with all these, blacks and Hispanics, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, starting to keep the commandments of God. Right, so this Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves. So, and that's what's going on in America. You got Israelites waking up day by day, week by week, right? Verse 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. And that's, he's not talking about every single Israelite, but, who's all the hopeful elect, hey, they will get it, right? Verse 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name, right? So, and that's why you got brothers over here in Babylon the Great, America, coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 10. Brothers and sisters. Isaiah chapter 10. In verse number 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, right? Talking about the so-called white man. But shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth, right? So you have Israelites that's coming back to the truth, meaning keeping the commandments. All right, let's get that. In Psalms 119, we're going to come back to this. Psalms 119 and 144. 142. The book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So when the Lord said a remnant will come back to the truth, meaning keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's what you see going on in America. But, according to biblical prophecy, Israelites will be coming back to keeping the commandments. But these Christians teach you don't have to keep the commandments, right? That's what they teach. Let's go back to Isaiah. All right. Isaiah 9 and 21. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty Yahweh. Right? So it's going to be a remnant of Israelites that return back to keeping the commandments and having faith in Yahweh Shai. Right? Verse 22. For thou, thy people Israel, be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness, right? What else can make you righteous other than keeping the laws? Let's go to Psalms 19 and 7. So I get this down. This the book of Psalms chapter 19 verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. Right, so, it'll be Israelites coming back to righteousness, meaning keeping the laws of God, of Yahweh, right? The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple, right? Now let's go to the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10. So I can one book. Damn. The book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Right? So in America, we was told we was just a nigga, 3/5 of a human, right, or whatever. That's Constitution, whatever it's called, that's still in effect. Right? They ain't never do away with that. Right? But America is not built on racism, right? You know, and that's also what Paul is quoting in Romans 9:24, talking to the Gentiles, letting you know that the Gentiles is actually Israelites that took after the ideology of the other nations, right? They was in a Gentile state of mind, right? And it says, I'm gonna read this part again. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Right? How is it going to be said unto them? Because you'll have brothers outside teaching it. Right? Deuteronomy 30 and verse 1. And I'm going to get a closing precept after this. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord thy God hath driven thee. It said, thou shalt call it to mind amongst all the nations, meaning brothers would literally be outside teaching the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Right? We all know going into slavery on ships, so on and so forth. Right? So the so-called black Hebrew Israelites, right? That's what they like to call us, waking up. You know, that's ultimately up to Lord, you know. And these damn Christian apologists, they can't do nothing about it, right? You know, they can be mad all they want, but it's biblical prophecy at the end of the day. Let's go to Acts 5 and 39. This is the book of Acts chapter 5 and verse 39. And it reads, but if it be of Yahweh, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found. So like you got a damn motorcycle demon driving past. Right. Let me start over. But if it be of Yahweh, ye cannot overthrow it, lest haply ye be found even to fight against Yahweh. Right? So this is of the Most High God, us waking up in the last days. So it's nothing anybody can do about it. Right? Unless you fight against the Most High, which you know, that's a battle you're not going to win. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai again. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to say shalom to the 12. Kwon Yasharala.